Hi you guys, this is Jazzy, otherwise known as Jazzified. Welcome to Perspective of Las Vegas. This is going to be a new series that I'm going to have on my channel. I'm basically just interviewing other people about 5 to 6 minutes, and we're going to deep dive in the specific situations that are going on in society, even some controversial ones. So if you guys are intrigued, stay tuned to the rest of the video. Welcome to the first episode of Perspective of Las Vegans. I'm here with
Maddie White. Hi, how y'all doing?
Yes, so today we are just gonna deep dive. I know that you've had some changes with the last couple years, we're just gonna talk about some of those like whys and how you're doing today. So the first thing I want to ask is just about, I know that you auditioned for American Idol, which is literally insane. I even know like back you used to like post like all the singing videos and stuff like that, so I just kind of wanted to ask like what changed, basically why you kind of like pulled back, I guess, from pursuing singing.
So with auditioning for American Idol, I had this like huge passion for singing, and I always told people like singing was one of those things that like it gave me my words to say when I didn't know how to explain my emotions. So with American Idol, I didn't make it all the way in, so I made it through the first level, and then they said, we want you to grow up and mature a little bit. And so after that, I was just kind of like, man, this sucks. This really sucks, and like I had this like huge dream, and I was like, I'm gonna make it on the show. Like I was like, I felt like I have like a good personality. And I felt like
absolutely
thanks,
stock quality over here.
Thank you. And I definitely felt like after that I kind of veered away from that, and I wanted to do a lot more of like self-growth, because I was like, what else am I other than singing? And that's when I started getting like so much more into like fitness and like being like the best version of myself, because I also feel like at that time I was like a super insecure person. And then after that I kind of just was like, like I'm not that into singing anymore, because I don't want to be exposed to that toxicity that revolves around that music industry. And it's just so toxic. Like when they had me on the show, like everything that I said on the show, it was just scripted. Like it was like they were like, give me the worst thing that has happened to you, and then like dramatize it. And I was like,
oh heck no, they're like emphasizing your traumas.
I was like, well, I don't know how to like emphasize more on this without like a trigger warning, And I just didn't want to find I didn't want to grow up in that. And then if things were to take off, like I have 2 little sisters, and I don't want them to be exposed to such a wide array of just different things that the music industry brings out, like drugs, like that's huge in the music industry. Everyone's on drugs. And I don't want my sisters to be like exposed to those type of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How would you say like that, I guess like that experience really like shaped your mental health? Like
yes.
Really,
yes. So first when that happened, it was like a spiral. It was like a roller coaster, and then it just plummeted. Okay. I was like, shoot, I'm on the show, and then it just went.
Yeah, that's how I was like, I wanted to see how, because you're also at a young age too. You have such like passions and dreams of like going on the show and stuff like that. Yeah. And the fact like you got through, and they just told you like, just like give it a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you cope with that? Like, was it in a healthy way or?
Wow. I definitely went down a spiral.
Okay.
So that was
everybody
when.
Has those days.
Yeah. Everybody has those days.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes. Well, so that was when I was at my complete worst. So 2019 was like the worst year of my life, and I'm completely open with that. Like 2020 was a fucking breeze, man. Yeah. So 2019, I was also dealing with like my parents' divorce and all this crazy crap, and so like when that happened, it was like the one good thing of the year. I was like, I'm on the show, and then they're like, you're not on the show, and I was like, so I kind of dealt with it really, really, really bad at first. It turned into like not eating, going to parties, drinking, more smoking. And I can count how many times on my fingers like I've done stuff. I haven't done stuff that much. Like I partied, but no, I did not. And then my mom got me a therapist, and the first therapist I talked to made me play with sand and made me talk to a puppet. Like, she brought out this like monkey puppet. Yeah, she brought out this monkey puppet, and she was like, fuck, what did she say? She had the puppet, and it was like, started talking to me. She's like, how are you feeling today? How would you explain this emotion?
Dude, and I'm not 5. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and it was a monkey puppet, like, googly eyes, and I was like sitting there like, oh my god, like, where'd she get this? Like, Goodwill or something? I was like, oh my god. And it was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my god. And then she got me a new therapist, and her name's Krista.
There you go, Krista.
And so she kind of just like really introduced me into like mental health and like journaling and being the best person I am.
That's awesome.
And like, I'm such a huge advocate for like therapy. I think it's awesome as long as you're open to change. Then it's so good for you. Sure. So I definitely think that once I got my new therapist, Krista, it was just like, raised. Awesome. I mean, we still all have our days though, you know?
Yeah, of
course. Yeah.
I guess, what made you go from wanting to do singing to going into the Army?
Okay, so first it wasn't the Army. First it was the National Guard. The National Guard is like a sub branch of the Army, but they only do stuff once a month for 2 days, and then they serve 2 weeks of the summer. And so I have always wanted to be, well, like, for like the last 2-3 years, I've wanted to be a combat medic if I were to go into the military. And so combat medics, what we do is like, we're in the middle of the field, and our entire job is to chase the bullets.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So first they couldn't get me that job in the National Guard, and I was like, no. And at the time I was dating this guy, and he was like, if they can't give you the job you want, don't sign. And I was like, okay. So I started talking to other people, and they got me my job. It only took like a day for them to get me my job, and it's one of the hardest jobs to get in the military.
Wow.
Because everyone wants to be a combat medic.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do so many people, I mean, what, I guess, like, attracted you to being a combat medic?
Personal reasons, I guess. I wanted to be in the action.
Yeah.
It was like, I just thought it sounded really cool, and I feel like there's, like, I don't want to find myself, like, folding laundry.
Yeah,
you know? Like, there was some girl at my training the other day, and I turned to her and I was like, hey, what do you do? And she was like, oh, I like, cook food for the people. And I was like,
they signed you up for this shit.
I was like, homegirl, they got you messed
Oh my gosh.
And so,
get them benefits.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, someone come get homegirl, like, out of here, man. And so I told my recruiters the first day I met with them, I was like, I want to be in the middle of the action. I was like, I want to be a combat medic. I'm not going to sign for anything else.
Okay.
And they're like, holy shit, okay. They got me my job, sent me to MEPS, passed MEPS. So now I'm enlisted, I'm in, I ship out June 28th. I'm so excited.
Hey,
and
that's so soon, too.
I know, I'm so excited.
Literally like 2 months away. It's like April's almost over anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm counting it as over.
Yeah.
It's fine. And I'm trying to be this thing called a ranger medic, and so there's Army, and then there's like Green Berets. There's like subgroups in the Army, and it's like specialized. Like, they're really cool. They're really cool. And there's only been like 20-30 women who have ever been able to become a ranger.
Oh wow.
So you have to go through like 3 deployments, something like that, in order to like officially become a ranger. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. I ain't got no one. Yeah. So it's gonna be an adventure.
Yeah. It's like why you even wanted to go with the military route, like, in the first place.
So it's kind of dark. So at first, like, my mental health was so bad that it was like you have those like suicidal thoughts, and I didn't want to like take my own life. Like, if anything, I wanted my life, like my death, to have purpose. And so I kind of thought to myself, like, shoot, like, what's the best way? And I was like, military. And like, I would joke about it, but now, like, reflecting back, like, I meant that. It wasn't a joke. Like, I truly meant that. And then it kind of turned into like, how can I help people? And like, once you look around at everything going on in the world, I started to become like more passionate about it, because like not a lot of people are willing to like step up and help and serve.
That is so true.
Yeah. And I feel like so many people, it's like, well, what do I want to do with my life? And how can I make a good life for myself?
Yeah.
And it's never like, how can I help other people? Because after I'm done with the military, I plan on moving to Cambodia or Brazil.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome,
right?
Dude.
And
that's
so pretty
cool.
much, this is like the whole reason why I'm joining the military. There's this team called AIM.
Okay.
And so what they do is it's a SWAT team, and they go in
wow.
and they like rescue women and other men and children from sex trafficking. And it's the coolest team ever. It's so cool. Yeah. And it's all Christian based. They're based in California, and they're going out all across the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
that's something that I want to do. And they like help build these women's life back up. Like they give them treatment, they house them, they give them education. So it's like that's something that's been a dream of mine for ever. Like my mom has told me, like my mom works for that team. And and so when she told me about that, like I had that like feeling in my heart that I was like, oh my god, like that's so cool.
Yeah.
But I never thought that like I could do that, you know?
Okay.
And so now I'm putting in all these steps in place for me that like I'm going to be able to do that. And it's just like it's really exciting to be able to know like I'm gonna be on that team one day.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal. That's the end goal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. That's my spiel.
I really like how I guess you've changed. I guess like the negative aspect instead of being because a lot. I mean, society these days is always like it's all about me. It's not about helping other people, and our lives are like so short anyway. So I really love how you kind of like turn around that mindset. Like yes, like I am sacrificing myself, but I'm doing it for such a great cause.
Yeah.
For people who are literally scared to even like sacrifice that. I guess like now, like that's a really like courageous. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely have respect. I guess. How did your family and your friends reacted when you told them about? Because I mean, that's really not really something that I guess like definitely something that people don't think of because again they're scared or they're scared of of your sacrifice, but you're looking at it as like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm not even thinking about myself, thinking about other people.
Yeah. Well, my family didn't take it well at first. They did everything in their power to like try to convince me not to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't your brother like in the?
He's in the Air Force.
Air Force, okay.
Yeah, and so pretty much the difference is that with my job, like I'm going to get deployed. I know this. I'm gonna find myself in crossfire. There's gonna be action. Like that's just a part of my job. As long as I volunteer to do that, like you can volunteer for deployments and like I haven't told my family, but I plan on doing that. But anyways, my brother, there was like a possibility of him getting deployed and my family freaked out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I used to be like the baby of the family, like they call me the golden child.
Oh yeah.
And like I had straight A's, whatever. And they like babied me. And so once I told them like I'm gonna go into the army, they're like
they're like, hold up.
They're like, you get your nails done.
My gosh.
You can't do a push-up, Maddie. And so then I was like, no, I'm gonna do a lot of self-growth. I'm gonna go to the gym every day, and I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna become a beast, right? And they're like, okay, sure. And so now I feel like I've come like so far on like my fitness journey that they're like, oh my god, like she's doing it.
Yeah.
And so at first they kind of were just like, they were trying to convince me out of it. They were like, you know you can die, right? And I was like, yeah.
They're like, yeah, no shit.
Or they would be like, how do you feel about deployment? Do you even know how deployment works? And I'd be like, yeah. I've done my research. And I also have this like crazy side of the family. They're all Air Force. I'm the first person to go into the Army in my family.
Oh wow!
Yeah, first person and girl to go into.
And girl.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
To go into any military force. Like none of my family has had like any medical jobs. None of my family has like had like careers.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, what's going on, Maddie? Like, who's in your head? I'm like, no, man, that's all me.
Yeah.
And one thing that my grandpa like was getting upset with me about, he's like, you know, like the Army is stupid, right? And he's like, it's so dumb that you're going into the Army. And I was like, you know, if I wanted your opinion, I'd ask for it.
Yeah.
And then my brother, he called me one day and he's like, I'm so disappointed that you're joining the Army.
What?
Yeah, I did not have their support at all.
What in the world?
Yeah.
I would have never expected that, especially from someone who is like in the Air Force. I mean, that's literally so, I mean, I guess definitely they're just like looking out for you, but you're still like, I want to do this. They still have no control over like what you want to do. Especially I'm just like, do what makes you happy, dude.
Exactly. I'm like, I was like, what the hell? Where's this coming from?
That is crazy.
And he was also like, you're gonna be moving bags all day. and he can only go to Nebraska
Oh.
or Texas for
What?
his job.
Texas. Y'all see
Like,
Texas right now.
Yeah. For real. And I was like, Nebraska?
What the
Nebraska?
fuck? I don't even know where that is on a map.
What you gonna be doing out there?
deadass.
Milking goats?
Yeah.
I don't even know what's out in Nebraska. I've never
He
even,
can't
like,
internationally travel even?
No.
Like, what?
Not really, not for his
What was
job.
the point? I was like, what was the point?
I don't know. He works on these planes called B-52s, and he's a mechanic.
Okay.
And there's only like a couple of like plane warehouses that have these planes.
Yeah.
They don't even get used.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's literally just like fixing them for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I have no disrespect for the army, military, or anything like that. Definitely, it's like if you want to do what you like want to do, pursue that. But I'm like, don't be hating on other people because
Yeah.
they want to be more in the action or whatever. Because I know some people are just like they just join it and they have desk jobs and they
Yeah.
still are hating their lives because
Yeah.
you're just at a desk. You're basically just still working for a corporation and
Yeah.
you're not like leveling up. 'Cause
Literally.
you're not like in the action.
yeah.
So that's crazy how that they don't have your support. I feel like definitely
Yeah.
I support you with that. I'm just
Thank
like do
you.
what makes you happy
Yeah.
because like you're your own person.
Yeah.
So,
Once my family started kind of to see like how like passionate I am about this though, because I was like, if you guys give me any more shit about this, like you're out, you're done.
Yeah.
I was like, because I can't take this. Like, it's gonna be such a hard. It's already so hard. Like, knowing like, hey, and like next year I'm gonna be in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna be fighting. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be hot. I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I'm gonna be hungry.
Hot.
Yeah. And like, I just need my family's support. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, that's going to be one of the things that gets me through it.
That's true, yeah.
And, like, I know I'm signing up to go through all this pain, but I
Yeah.
also know that there's, like, such a good reason behind it.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to be making a difference in the world, and that's all I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't have your support, like, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I just need you guys to be like, we're proud of you. And I'll be like, fuck, I can go another year. I can go another year. But if they're like, I'm disappointed in you, then it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like my family's, like, viewpoint is, like, so important to me that it would just, like, it would, like, tear me down, like, knowing, like,
Yeah.
I'm out here, I hate my life, and I don't even have my family support.
Yeah.
It would suck. So now they're all like, you can do it, Maddie.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like did you have to like kind of like prove it to them that you were like
Yeah.
serious about
Yeah.
it? Okay.
All this working out I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, my grandpa one day, he was like, Maddie, you're starting to look like a man. And I was like,
Bye.
it's like, that's the point.
Yeah.
And
you're
he was like,
"This is the point."
Okay.
If you're literally gonna be out there and you're gonna be strong, you have to be strong anyway.
Literally.
And plus, you're basically just like prepping yourself for boot camp anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hell. So
Yeah.
I was like, you're good.
I was like,
It's
bro. I was like, shut up.
And you're swimming too. Like
Yeah.
that swim test, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm brazen.
Literally, like, I've lost so much weight.
Yeah.
And, like, it used to be just be like, oh my god, that girl has a big ass.
Yeah.
But now that it's like, oh my god, that girl has, like, shoulders.
Yeah.
That's,
She's like,
that
"Oh,
girl's
she
got
does."
biceps. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
I didn't know.
dude.
Y'all guys look really good at the camo pants. Oh my gosh. I'll always be seeing them. Like,
I can't
like,
wait to post
with the hat,
post on my
like-
Instagram, like, chip check,
real.
swag.
Everybody doing that, I'm like, ooh, go.
Yeah, for real. I'm so excited. I'm gonna look so cool.
That is so awesome,
Yeah.
girl. I'm excited for you.
I am so excited. It's gonna be
honestly.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so cool. Hard, but cool.
Yeah. What is one thing I guess you would say to anyone I guess who's watching this who just like wants to pursue something but they don't have their family's support?
I would say do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like, people always, they're always gonna give you their bullshit.
True.
That's what got me through it, because when I didn't have my family support, I was just like, you know what? I just want to be petty and do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like, have that pettiness in you
Okay.
and just be like, frick it, I'm gonna do it anyways. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's your life.
True.
And it comes down to, like, the chapters. Like, you don't want to be reading a book and it's just like, they did the same thing the entire book.
That's true.
And it's like a novel, you know?
yeah.
You want your novel to have that action, that passion,
Yeah.
and that love for life. And you want it to have all those details and those verbs and those adjectives.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is that when, like, the character's not passionate about what they're doing? No heroic movie has just, like, a climax and then
Yeah.
it just stays the same.
True.
There's so many different events that go through it. And also, you want your life to be colorful. Like, you want to live your life, so it's like, you know what you're doing makes you happy. Like, there's all these people working at Target. I love Target. I love the people at Target.
We love Target.
We love Target. But what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're working for someone else's dream. And at the end of the day, like, what do they go home to?
Yeah.
You want to be able to, like, grow old and be like, this is what I did with my life. It was awesome. It was beautiful. And then know that you lived a life that was worth living. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Maddie, thank you so much for being the first guest on the Perspective of
Thanks
Las
for having
Vegas.
me.
No problem.
It was so
fun. I'm happy that, we just got to talk about your passion and what's driving you. And I'm so excited to see what happens this summer. What happens after boot camp. Literally, I'm going to see you in different countries.
I'm going to be ripped.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm going to be like,
six pack and
grew dick while I was at it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Of course.
You guys, I will see you guys later. Bye.